Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But what does that really mean? Is it the version of you others find acceptable? Is it the self you have shaped and protected through effort? Or is it the one that emerges quietly when no one else is watching? Perhaps becoming your true self is a continuous question that quietly waits for your attention each day. And maybe the real concern is that identity has become another product we are asked to package. First, we are told to define who we are in clear and simple terms. Second, we are encouraged to stay consistent even if that means hiding our doubts. And third, when authenticity becomes just another performance, something essential may be lost. If being yourself becomes a strategy, it may no longer feel like yourself at all. What feels most real is often what keeps changing. So now, what if you asked yourself, is your identity a truth you live or a habit you follow? What version of you feels most true when no one is watching?
What would you honestly say?
Alexis de Tocqueville once said, "The health of a democratic society may be measured by the quality of actions performed by citizens." We often point to prosperous nations and see one pattern: they are democracies. From there, we draw a simple conclusion. Democracy means freedom. Freedom fuels innovation. Innovation brings growth. But is it really the system itself that creates prosperity? Or is there something deeper that we overlook? And maybe the real mistake is assuming that political freedom alone explains success. First, some of history's most rapid advances happened under authoritarian rule. Second, nations without full democracy have produced extraordinary growth. And third, when we equate democracy with guaranteed progress, we ignore the role of people's choices. If systems were enough, outcomes would be predictable. What truly sustains prosperity is not the system itself, but the wisdom and courage of its people. So now, what if you asked yourself, does democracy truly protect us from poor leadership? Or does the future depend more on participation than on the system itself?
What would you honestly say?
Albert Einstein once said, "Any fool can know. The point is to understand." We live in an age overflowing with knowledge degrees, credentials, endless content. We collect information like our survival depends on it. But what if knowing more isn't the same as living better? In chasing answers, we often forget to ask, what do we truly need to understand, not to win, but simply to live with clarity and peace? And maybe the pressure isn't to learn, but to constantly prove that we've learned enough. First, we're taught to collect knowledge before we even ask why it matters. Second, we keep learning more, fearing we'll fall behind if we pause. And third, we measure our worth by how much we know, even when that knowledge doesn't feed the life we want. If we never define enough, we might end up knowing everything, except what really matters to us. So now, what if you asked yourself, is all this learning making your life fuller or just heavier? Are you still learning or just afraid to stop?
What would you honestly say?
Aldous Huxley once warned, "Technological progress has merely provided us with more efficient means for going backwards." That line feels more relevant than ever. We celebrate each update, every smarter feature, but with every gain in power, we risk losing presence. The question lingers quietly. Is all this advancement still serving us, or are we just moving faster, while slowly forgetting what it means to be fully human? And maybe the real danger isn't that technology moves fast, but that we stop asking where it's taking us. First, speed has replaced intention. We move faster, but think less about where we're going. Second, efficiency has become proof of value, as if doing more means we're becoming better. And third, in a world obsessed with automation, We forget that tools without ethics create risks. Such unreflective progress, without questioning how the tools we use work, leaves us strangely empty. So now, what if you asked yourself, is technology actually improving you or just accelerating you? Are your tools serving your life or quietly shaping it?
What would you honestly say?
Arnold Toynbee once said, "Civilizations die from suicide, not by murder." We often measure progress by how high we build, how fast we grow, how far we reach. But is that real maturity? A person isn't considered wise just for gaining power, but for using it with care. Maybe what we call advancement for societies isn't real progress at all, just accelerating blindly toward future we never stopped to define. And maybe the real issue is that we've forgotten to ask where we're going. First, we've equated growth with goodness. More expansion, more speed, more reach, always more. Second, we prize innovation but rarely ask who it serves. Does our progress protect people or just impress them? And third, when momentum becomes the goal, we risk forgetting what truly matters. If we define success by size alone, we may build endlessly, while quietly eroding the soul of what we build for. So now, what if you asked yourself, are we truly building a future worth living in? And if so, what kind of future would actually be worth wanting?
What would you honestly say? You don't have to answer right away.